The desert was merciless, that day no wind, no shade. Just 1,000 miles of golden silence and heat that could cook metal. A convoy rolled through the dunes, engines humming low, sand whipping at armored tires. Among them was Captain Lena Rhodes' Delta Force, Calcine Viper. She had been on countless missions, some that never made it to record, some that were wiped from existence. But this one was different. This time, the betrayal came from within. Her team had gone dark, deep inside the Syrian border, tracking a rogue warlord responsible for an ambush that killed 3 American engineers. It was meant to be a clean extraction get-in, confirm the target, call for pickup, but when the dust cleared and the gunfire stopped, Viper realized she wasn't supposed to come back. They'd left her. Her comms were cut. Her GPS tracker was disabled. Her rifle jammed after a firefight that felt more like a setup than a mission. And when the last vehicle faded over the ridge, she was alone with only a half-empty canteen and the echo of her commander's last words in her ear. Delta doesn't get captured. Delta disappears. She walked for hours, maybe days, it was hard to tell. The sun was her enemy now. Each step sunk deeper into the burning sand, her boots feeling heavier with every breath. But if there was one thing the desert didn't understand, it was that Delta doesn't fear death. At night, the stars glared down like a million unblinking eyes. Lena found a rocky outcrop, crawled beneath it, and listened to the sound of her own heartbeat. Somewhere far beyond the horizon, she knew the men who'd left her were celebrating their success. They'd probably reported her Kia killed in action, but death wasn't coming for Lena Rhodes. She was coming for it. By the 3rd day, the hallucinations began. Mirage after mirage teased her a shape in the distance, a shadow that looked like salvation. Then came the voices her old team calling out, laughing, whispering lies. Should have followed orders. Viper Command said you were a liability. She's not coming back. But the thing about Lena was, she didn't need to come back. She needed revenge. She dug through her tactical vest, finding what little remained, a combat knife, 1 flare, and a broken radio. With sand-encrusted fingers, she rewired the comms unit, bypassing the frequency lock. A spark hissed to life. Static filled her ear. Then one voice. A faint signal. A mercenary channel. That's when the fire inside her reignited. At dawn, she moved like a ghost. The heat no longer mattered. She scavenged a rifle from a wrecked truck, stripped it clean, loaded it with rounds she'd found in the sand. Her training took over hydrate, move, observe, strike. Hours later, through the shimmer of the horizon, she saw them. The same convoy, the same insignia. Her team, they had camped out near an old fuel station, unaware that the one they'd abandoned was stalking them through the dunes. Lena crouched behind a broken pipeline, the sun bleeding orange behind her. One of them, Sergeant, Knox, stepped out to smoke, scanning the desert. His gaze brushed right past her. She waited, counting his breaths. When the wind shifted, she moved silent, steady, lethal. The knife struck first. The gurgle of surprise died in his throat before he hit the sand. She caught his body, lowered it gently. 1 down, 2 more sat near the Humvee arguing. She heard the words, she didn't make it. Wrong. Her rifle spoke once, twice. Both men dropped before they even registered the sound. When the last one, Lieutenant Harris, realized who it was too late. He stumbled backward, hands shaking, whispering her name like it was a ghost story. Lena. You weren't supposed to. She aimed the rifle at his chest. Neither were you. The shot echoed across the desert like a tuned slap. Darter, sun now setting in a blaze of crimson. Around her lay the remains of the betrayal that was meant to end her story. The radio crackled in her ear. Her hacked transmission had reached a nearby rescue patrol. Delta 6, this is command. We have your beacon. Are you alive? She smiled faintly, voice rough as sandpaper. Alive enough. The rescue chopper arrived as the desert turned cold, wind whipping up small storms of dust around her. When the door slid open and the medic reached out, she didn't take his hand right away. She turned once more to the bodies, to the silence. They had left her to die. But in doing so, they reminded her what Delta truly was, a promise written in grit. Forged in blood, Delta didn't fear death. Delta became it. Weeks later, in a dimly lit debriefing room at Fort Bragg, Lena stood before a general who studied her like an artifacts card, sunburned, and alive when she shouldn't be. "You were left behind," he said slowly. "Yet you neutralized your entire team?" Her gaze was steady. "No, sir. I corrected the record." He leaned back, exhaled. "What does that mean?" She holstered her sidearm and walked to the door, sunlight glinting off her Delta patch. "It means the desert taught me something, sir. And what's that? That death's not something to fear, it's just another mission." That night, she visited the range alone. Each bullet she fired cracked through the air like a reminder that no matter who tried to erase her, she would always return sharper, harder, more unbreakable than before. Some say Delta Force soldiers are trained to be invisible. But for Lena Rhodes, invisibility wasn't enough. She had become the whisper in the wind, the legend in the desert, and somewhere out there, when the wind howls across the dunes, soldiers still tell her story, the woman who was left to die, and came back as the storm itself, because Delta doesn't fear death. Delta is death.